everyone, welcome back to Twister Sisters Studios. I'm Holly the Twister Sister and I've got a brand new tutorial for you guys this week. I'm going to be showing you guys how to make a hummingbird, which you can see over there. It's super cute. You're only going to need 3 balloons to do this design. The flower is optional. We'll add that at the end. That would be another couple of balloons. But for the hummingbird, you're going to need 2 balloons for the wings and body. These could be different colors or the same. And then a yellow 260 as well for the beak. And I'm also going to be using a balloon stick, which I'll show you what I'm going to do with this in just a second, so stay tuned. So I've inflated both of my mint green balloons to about a 3 to 4 inch tail on each. This is the mint green color from Jamar Balloons. Bought this color for a birthday party that I did, and I haven't really found a lot of uses for it, so I'm excited to do the hummingbird in mint green. It looks really cool, so great use for this color. And then I've got my yellow 260 here, and to get this prepped, what we're actually going to do is we're going to take our balloon stick because we want our hummingbird to be able to look like it's kind of floating up above a flower, so we need a kind of stiff beak to hold it upright. And so to do that, we're going to use the balloon stick. So what you want to do is kind of imagine trimming this balloon stick in 2/3. I'm going to take that first third section and we're just going to bend this all the way over one side and then flip it back the other way, and it should just kind of snap apart. That's how my balloon sticks do it anyway. And I always have a bunch of balloon sticks in my bag anyway because I like carrying these around just in case I want to give somebody something on a stick. So it's easy for me to grab one and just, you can make 3 hummingbirds with 1 stick. So it's great. So this is going to fit perfectly inside of a 260. So I'm just going to put it inside my yellow 260 there. It's not probably going to slide all the way down to the bottom. You just need enough up here to get your pump in and blow it up. I've got the tip of my pump in the balloon here. You can see where my stick is. And once we inflate this, the stick will go to the bottom where we want it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fully inflate this until I have about 2 or so inches at the base, and I'm going to make sure that my stick is down in there, which it is. You want about a 1 inch tail or bubble here, so wherever you feel the tip of that stick, so I can feel the tip right on the edge of my finger there, I'm going to pinch it there and let all the rest of the air out of that balloon, and we're going to tie it off. Okay, so now I have that stick. It's taking up the full length of this part of the balloon, the inflated and the uninflated part. One end to the other end of the stick is taking up all of that. And so we don't need this long tail. You can cut off the rest of it. Just leave yourself enough of a little tail to tie it into our design later. Now you want to take one of your mint balloons and we're going to get started on the bird part of our hummingbird. So I'm going to take the front of the balloon from the nozzle and we're going to do a 3 bubble bird body for the head. So make these small bubbles about 1.5 inches or so. You want to do another one the same size. We're going to connect these two using the knot from our tie there and just wrap that around, roll it through to lock it in place. And then another bubble about the same size. And we're going to do a roll through on this one. So just bring those 2 bubbles apart a little bit so you can roll the 3rd one right on through. And that will lock it into our bird head. Okay, now we're going to take our 2nd green balloon at this point, and we're going to go ahead and wrap it into what I would call like the neck area here. So I'm just going to wrap it around that twist once or twice, and we're going to tuck it up inside of the head to hide the nozzle and also secure it and lock it in there. So the balloon that we just brought in here are going to be the wings. So I want to squeeze this balloon out, stretch it, give it some more flexibility so that we can really shape this into a nice wing shape for our hummingbird. So first thing I'm going to do is fold this over and just kind of eyeball how big I want the first wing to be. So this loop will be 1 wing. So however big you want that to be, make a twist. Okay, and we're going to let that go, and then we're just going to use this bubble to measure our 2nd wing. So we'll make another twist the same size. Twist these 2 together. You should have this twist in the middle out here floating up in space. So that's good. All right, we want to come down on our original balloon that we were working with, so your longer 260 that you've got, we want to make his body. So I'm going to do about a 3-inch bubble. Then we're going to make a little pinch twist here. So small round bubble, fold your balloons over, grab that bubble out on its own, twist it around itself. Okay, now we need to sandwich our wings into the body. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to come out to this twist right out here that's floating in space. We're going to bring it into the body bubble, but it's not going to get twisted into anything. We're going to sandwich it. So just kind of hold it right in the middle of where that body bubble is. We're going to take your remaining balloon and it's going to come up and over. So we're just sandwiching the ending part of those wings into the body here. That way, the wings aren't fully tied into like the bottom area of the bird, and we have more flexibility on how we want to position and shape those wings because they're not tied into anything really tight. So they're just sandwiched in. We're gonna go ahead and twist our balloon kind of around the neck area. Okay, and now we want to come back down with our longer 260 that we've got left on one side of the bird because we have not defined which side is the top or the bottom yet. So it really doesn't matter. Just come back down on one side, make another body bubble the same size as the one beside it. And you're going to use that pinch twist down there at the bottom to wrap it in. Okay, so we've got this. Now for the tail, I'm just going to do a simple triangle shaped tail to kind of give it that fanned out feathered look that hummingbirds, you know, they usually fan their tails out to help them fly in place and all that kind of cool aerobatics that they do. So I'm going to do 3 bubbles to make a little triangle here. So here's 1. These are about 3 to 4 inches. However much balloon you have left will maybe decide how big your bubbles are. I'm gonna do my 3 balloons here. Once I get done with that 3rd one, we're gonna twist it back into the pinch twist. And now you are done with the rest of this balloon. You can get rid of it, you can cut it off, you can break it off. Just make sure that you secure it around your twist and then hide it up inside his little bird body. We're also done with this 260. If you've still got this one hanging out here, you can get rid of it at this point as well. So I'm going to play with the positioning on this bird. I like to have this pinch twist at the tail end facing up. And you want on the body, you want the single bubble to be on top of the bird and the 2 bubbles beside each other, that's going to be the bottom of our bird. And then on the head here, you want to pick which bubble you want to be on top. Usually when you do a 3-bubble roll through, you almost always end up with one bubble that's kind of doesn't exactly match the other 2. So if you can find that odd one out, kind of put that one on the top of the bird, and the other 2 that match will be the bottom, so he'll have symmetrical cheeks. And now with the wings, we can have some fun and change the shape of these, because right now he kind of is giving some airplane vibes. So we want to do hummingbird vibes. So I'm going to take both of these parts of the wing and we're just going to grab them together and kind of fold them back towards the tail and squeeze to give it some nice little curved back shape. So that you can see is much nicer than this side. So we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Just roll it back and squeeze. And then you can really get those kind of going up behind the bird. Now it looks a little silly right now because he doesn't have a beak. So let's grab the beak and I'm gonna go ahead and twist this beak in. I've got a nozzle sticking out front here. You do not want to just tie these 2 together because then you're gonna have too much of a movable joint between the beak and the bird, and he's not really going to stand up on top of his beak. He's just gonna kind of be limp. We don't want a limp hummingbird. So I'm gonna take this nozzle and we're just gonna hide it inside the head there. And to attach my beak, I'm gonna hold it on the front of the face with one finger. I'm gonna pull the rest of this back really nice and tight into the back of the head, kind of twist it around. I'm gonna come back over, kind of loop it around the front of the beak, and then we're gonna tuck it back inside of that head again. So now we have a really nice, firm, and secure attachment point, and it's not going to be limp and have our bird kind of flopping over from the beak, but he's going to be kind of coming back straight up from his beak. Okay, if you do it wrong, you'll understand what I mean, and then you can try again. All right, so again, I'm just gonna make sure everything is where I want it to be here on the tail. I like to have the pinch twist on top. It does give you a different kind of vibe though if you have the pinch twist up above. Maybe you want to be able to see it from the front, and that looks good like that. But I'm just gonna have it facing down because that's usually how I see hummingbirds, with their tails fanned out down below them. Okay, so now I'm gonna put some eyes on this hummingbird. If you want to go the extra mile, you can use a 160 and make some little pinch twist eyes with black here or blue or whatever color you want, and that would be really nice. But if you're in a time crunch or more of a party, fast moving situation, you might just want to draw some eyes on. So here's how I do it. All right, so I kept it really simple, just did kind of 2 oval eyes, added some little white dots for the shine marks on the eyes, and I'm also gonna bust out my Superstar pink face paint, and we're gonna give him a little bit of blush on his cheeks. I'm just gonna rub my finger in that face paint, and we're gonna put some pinkish blush right on those little cheeks. Just give them that super. Now our hummingbird is complete, and I have to say I think it is super cute. But hummingbirds aren't fully complete without a flower, are they? So I've got a little 6-petal flower here that I've made, and to attach this to a flower and really add the finishing details on here, what we're gonna do is we're gonna grab some of the balloon from his beak. So hold on to the stick that's inside up here right before the air starts, and then we're gonna pull out the end so we get some uninflated balloon here that we can work with to tie this into our flower. So I'm gonna take that uninflated bit that I have, and I'm just going to wrap it, come into the center of my flower, and wrap it around a couple of petals so it's locked in there. Now your bird is attached to the flower, and it looks like he's just hovering above it, getting the nectar out of the flower, and I think it's so cute. It almost looks like it's defying gravity, or there's some helium in the bird part of the balloon, but it's just that cool balloon stick trick that is keeping him up like he's flying up above the flower like hummingbirds do. I also think this would be a great design for a headband, or you can attach it to a candy cup or put it on a bracelet, especially for adult events where you might have a lot of older guests who don't really know what they want. They just want you to make something for them and surprise them. This is a great one that especially I think the ladies would love to wear around the event as a headband. But even some guys too. I know my dad really likes hummingbirds, and they feed them in their backyard all the time. So it's not just for ladies. So I've gone ahead and I've attached this 1-inch headband to my flower, and you want to just make sure that it is lined up, touching to these petals along the bottom so that the headband doesn't get sucked up into the flower, and then you have a space off the top of your head. And look how cute. You've got this adorable little hummingbird just flying around above your head, attacking this flower that's on you. It is such a fun piece, totally a showstopper, crowd pleaser, conversation starter, all of those things. So I hope you guys like this design. I'm super curious to read your comments and hear what you think about this guy. I think it's really nifty and neat, and is probably something your customers will just be absolutely blown away by. If you make this for them, they will for sure think you're the best balloon artist they've ever seen. So let me know what your thoughts are on this design, and if you'll be trying it. I want to see pictures of your versions on this hummingbird design. So if you do different colors, do something different for the eyes, put it on a bracelet or a candy cup. I would love to see pictures of your work in our free Facebook group this week. You can find the link to join us down in the description of this video. If you enjoyed watching this video and you want to see more fun balloon animal tutorials, please make sure that you're subscribed and ring the bell so that YouTube will actually notify you when I put out a new video next week is going to be a really fun one for the summer. You're not going to want to miss it. And if balloons like this bring you as much joy and happiness as they do for me, and you think this is something you might want to do as a living or to earn some extra money for your family, check out our membership called the Twisterhood. It's a membership just for balloon twisting professionals who are starting or growing their own balloon twisting businesses. I've got every kind of resource in that membership that I wish I would have had. We give you social media graphics you can use on your own pages every single month. There are member-only tutorials in there, templates where you can drag and drop to easily create your own professional looking business cards, sales flyers, price list, all kinds of things. Basically anything I needed for my business, I create, and then I also make it available to my members. All of my clip art is in there available for you to access anytime you need it to make your own menus, which we also have templates for. So you can easily just drag and drop into a menu template, print it, and you're off to your next event. If you think that's something that would interest you, the link to join us is in the description below as well. I do hope to see you inside the Twisterhood, but if not, I'll see you guys next week for another balloon twisting tutorial. Till then, I'll be over in the free Facebook group waiting to see pictures of your hummingbirds this week. Have a great week, everyone. Bye.